At just 28 years old, she left her country, Portugal, to come to Africa for a huge assignment. And later on, the doors opened for her, and she's now currently the UNOPS Regional Director for the whole of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Susan Grace, and this is a story of one Miss Dalila Gonçalves, right here on A Woman's Journal.
Hello, Susanna.
Sorry, a bit too late.
Yeah, it's still until November. Yeah.
Until November. She said it. Until November.
Exactly.
It's so nice to see you. This looks beautiful.
Exactly. It's from Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone.
I like it.
And I love the material. I'd like to see you in that hat.
With
Did you
this
wear
one?
it? Yeah.
Oh yes, I did, but not today because I was trying to impress you
Would
guys.
you look at that?
Yes, this was offered when I went to Sierra Leone on mission, like 2-3 months ago. And this is the traditional dress.
Okay.
Everyone, men and female, dress
Wear
up.
this.
Yes, wear this. Especially on Sundays when they meet. Yeah, to have lunch.
Lunch, okay.
Yeah, during the
I love
family
that.
time. It's fantastic. So I keep it here as everything that everyone offers to me. This is the place where I keep everything.
This is your safe corner.
This is my safe corner.
I love it. I know we've just started with a bang, but I just wanted to give people an opportunity to get to know you. This is Miss Dalila. I feel like I would do a great disservice if I introduced you.
Of course.
So
thank you
you
so much.
are better off introducing yourself, but it's such an absolute honor to meet you.
Thank you, likewise.
Yes, so for the person who's seen you for the first time, who is Miss Dalila?
Okay, so thanks so much, and thanks so much for being here, for visiting me.
You are welcome.
At our office here in Kenya. So I am the regional director for the Africa region, and this is my position, and that's why we are in my office, right?
Yes, we are.
We moved 1 year ago from Copenhagen to Nairobi. It was the best decision ever. I am in charge of the Africa region, so covering the whole continent. And I was covering the continent from Copenhagen, serving Africa from Europe. And you cannot serve Africa from Europe. You have to serve Africa from Africa.
I love that.
Exactly. So moving, having the opportunity to move myself and my team, all of us that are here moved from Copenhagen to Nairobi. It was the best decision ever. Nairobi is an amazing place in terms of geographical location. Being here in this place, traveling around, it makes things not so difficult because it's more or less equal distance between Kenya and everywhere in Africa, the North Africa, the South Africa. So it makes things much easier. And of course, being inspired on a daily basis by this weather, by the people.
Yes. What you're not seeing is basically right here at the UNOPS, the entire Africa is in her hands.
Exactly.
I love that. You're going to tell us more about what you do, like work-wise, but just tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are outside work.
So outside work, I'm daughter, sister, mom, wife, friend, colleague, leader, peer. Yeah, I'm someone that really loves life and try to enjoy it as much as I can. Someone really that makes things happen because this is me, not only in professional terms, but also in personal terms. I'm someone that really likes to just relax. I'm Zen person, super Zen, to be with friends, to receive and to share. Yeah, I'm a simple woman, mother of 3 kids. Who they are, the love of my life. But listen, like everywhere, every woman, right? Mother, wife, colleague, leader, like you.
A very powerful woman. Well, I'm not a mother, but
not
I
yet.
get the gist.
Not yet.
So we had coffee some time back with Miss Dalila, and I just remember telling myself, your story is so inspirational. At first, she was a bit hesitant. She's like, I mean, do I really have a story? And I was like, yes, you do, because at 28 years old, you left Portugal to come to Africa.
Exactly.
And it was not easy, was it?
No, no, it was like a challenge. It's true. It's true. Reality, I was like living the great life as all the European girls, or most of them. And yes, I was already working in Portugal, in Lisbon. I had my own apartment, car, friends, boyfriend, the perfect boyfriend. My parents loved him. And then I received like an offer to have my first international assignment in Africa.
Lovely.
In Angola. And then initially, my first thought it was, what? Oh my God, is this for me? And then my second thought, and that voice that we have always.
That gut feeling.
That gut feeling is, oh yeah, I go for it immediately. And it was not an easy decision. I knew that I will do it, but of course, then I had to share it with everyone, my family, my boyfriend, my friends, and etc. And yes, I did it, and I'm so proud of that moment. Yes, because it has changed all my life, to be very honest. Yeah.
I think even before we now transition into getting to understand what like you really do on ground, maybe we're gonna play the people a little bit of a clip so that they can have an idea of what we're about to unpack.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, so you've left your country, you've come in Africa for a huge assignment. Did it instantly land you at UNOPS, or were there other assignments?
No. I started with the private sector. I moved to a renewable energy company. It was my first assignment. It was in Angola. And listen, moving from Portugal to Angola, at that time, the country was under war, and there was nothing, no coffees, no restaurants, no food in the supermarkets. It was really a very important shock for someone like me that was born in a country that's like quite stable, right? Yeah. I remember the first time that I went to the supermarket, I was just thinking, I need milk, yogurts, whatever. I said, let me look at the brands of the milk, etc. Maybe I will find the same. And then there was no milk at all, yes. And then I said, when can I have milk? There is no milk. When do you think that we'll have it? We don't know. Okay. You have to come on a daily basis. I said, okay. So let's.
You have to go on a daily basis to try see if you'll get milk.
Exactly. That was the country that was under war. And then I did it, exercise, and then I just, the first day that I found milk, it was like, whatever is the brand, I don't care. This is milk, it's proper, like, let's take it. So this is like the transition from, a stable European, life to really a country that was under war. But listen, it was amazing. It was fantastic. And I think that I need it, definitely.
Yeah. Other than the milk situation, what are some of the culture shocks you experienced having come to Africa from Europe?
So I wouldn't say that it was, I experienced country and any cultural shock. Contrary, I really still, and I feel amazed for so many experience that I really have had the opportunity to have. And I think that when I look back at the way that we live in Europe, I think that we have lost a lot of values, principles, and etc. For example, when I think about the way that family is really taken care of in Africa, in most of the countries in Africa. For us in Europe, a family is more about our children and parents, and that's the limit, right? In Africa, family
Extended
is
family.
extended.
Everybody's
Even the
family.
neighbor is a family.
Even the neighbor's family.
And this spirit, and it's not only like it's considered family, but it's the spirit of solidarity, it's the spirit of being together. If you are part of my circle of trust, my family, whatever you need, I am with you. So I will ensure that nothing ever we will miss something, right? So this spirit of solidarity, this spirit of taking care of each other is really great. Also, I think that what I've learned, and it was really a great surprise for me, is the way that families take care of their elderly people.
Right.
This is really lovely that we don't see it anymore
because in Europe you take the elderly people into homes
most of the times. Exactly. When our parents they are not really able to take care of themselves, usually what families do is that they just send them to a place and that's it. They stay there until the moment arrives, unfortunately. And families go there on every week, every Sunday, and they say, "Oh, I love you so much, Papa, Mama, you are there. I love you, love you,
and
love
then
you."
Go back to
and then
their
they go
normal
back, normal life, restaurants, and etc. And it's really here the way in Africa, everywhere in Africa, the way that families take care of their parents, the elders, is really something that is really amazing. So I've learned so much. Also, the way that my children's best friends, treat me. I'm still, they're still calling me the Auntie Dalila. And I only have one niece, but all of them call me Auntie Dalila, Auntie Dalila, Auntie Dalila. So, and this really warms up my heart. And anytime that's still meeting them, they are already adults. I'm still the auntie. So
the Auntie Dalila. I love it. And I like earlier on as we were talking, you talked about how this whole concept of family in Africa and oneness has also influenced your leadership. How is that?
Totally. Because I think as a leader, we really need to ensure that everyone has a place in our team. And it goes beyond the work relationship, right? Because it cannot just stick to whatever. I am leader, you report to me, and that's it. You do whatever I need or the organization needs, and that's it. No, it has to go beyond. You have to inspire your team. You have to deliver through others. And to inspire your team, you really need to ensure that everyone feels that they have a very special place. Not only in your team, but also in your heart. Right?
Yeah.
And they are treated fairly, respectful, and the relationship goes beyond the professional relationship. The relationship goes above.
Yes.
It's like a personal relationship as well.
Yeah.
We create empathy, we understand the strengths, we understand the opportunities of improvement, we understand the family requirements, we understand the points that we really can work together and support each other. And yes, I think that this inclusive leadership style in which we are not only colleagues, but we are friends, we are best friends, we take care of each other. This is really has changed my life as well as a leader, and also allow us to have a work environment that it is fantastic, it is amazing, in which we felt love. I feel loved here. And this is, and allows me to wake up every day thinking, yes, today I'm going to meet these guys.
Super excited.
And even during the weekend, it's like, oh my God, what I'm going to do? I feel so bored today. Okay, let's organize a dinner here. Okay, guys, you come.
Are you hiring? You're such a good boss.
And that is amazing because they are not only people that you work with to achieve objectives, but they are people that you work, you interact, you build, you create, you co-create. And by doing all of this, you achieve the objectives that you are supposed to do.
Yeah, I love that. I don't know if you noticed, but her office is very open. It's not
very
like
open.
A bossy corner somewhere with doors and windows and don't get to me.
I think I'm the only person in the unknown sitting in this compound
with
that
an
has
open
this
office.
Open office. Yes,
wow.
But this is me. Yeah,
I love that.
Me too.
And, regional director for the entire Africa. Here at UNOPS. What does your job entail? What do you do?
Okay, so UNOPS for the ones that don't know about it, is the operational arm of the United Nations. So we provide project management, infrastructure, and procurement projects. This is our mandate. And when we think about Africa, and when we think about the needs, really, this is the best place for us to be, and this is the best mandate for us to have at this stage. We want to support people and countries to achieve better lives, peace, security, and sustainable development. And just thinking, for example, about energy, right? Just thinking that as of today, 700 million people don't have access to electricity. Is part of our mandate to help governments really to cover this gap. Not only governments, but as well as our international partners. This can be related to infrastructure projects, building roads, schools, health centers, electrifying, building mini off-grids, mini sites, electrifying health centers, schools, and etc., building feeder roads, conducting procurement on behalf of the governments, helping governments to speed up the implementation of multiple projects. Sometimes projects don't progress because, for example, they are stuck in terms of procurement. I'm not talking specifically about Kenya, but there are countries in Africa that projects don't progress in terms of implementation because government was not able to, for example, to buy cars for the project team, to go and to visit this place, or to buy laptops, or to do different things. So that's when we, work very closely with the government to see, okay, what is needed and how can we contribute to accelerate the implementation of these projects, to speed up implementation? Because by speeding up implementation, we are helping countries and people to achieve better lives and the sustainable development goals. Across UNOPS, across Africa, we have 250 projects under implementation. Everywhere in Africa, we are present in 40 countries, and our total portfolio this last year, in 2024, it was almost $600 million projects implemented. Of course, we are not a profitable organization. We don't work for profit. We just recover our costs, and our objective is really to help people, countries to achieve better lives and peace, sustainability, and the 2030 agenda.
Yeah. What has been the, shall I say, hardest or the toughest country to probably implement some of these projects? Which country has given you a hard time?
There are countries that are under war. For example, in Sudan, where we are. For example, in Somalia, there are multiple conflicts. For example, today, Congo, what is happening, in Goma, in Kinshasa. For example, in CAR, Central Africa, the first time that I went there, the team was showing me the map of the Central Africa divided in multiple states, and then all were red except the small place where we were, in the capital, in Bangui. I said that it was green, and they showed me, okay, we have projects here, and we were here. And where you see red is where really the level of insecurity is really too high. Said, listen, but this is where we are implementing projects, of course, because this is exactly where we are needed. So we don't compete with the private sector. We really go and implement projects where we have the most fragile and insecure situation. So every day is a new day.
Every country is a new challenge.
Every country is a new challenge. Last week it started in DRC, in Goma, over the weekend. We have to evacuate our team. 1 year ago in Sudan, Somalia is a continuous conflict, Tigray in Ethiopia, and this is exactly where we are. The Sahel, we know the situation, all of the countries that we cover, this is exactly where we are. That's why we have a fantastic team here that really look at all of these aspects. The security aspect, how the security is going to impact delivery and implementation. What can we do to mitigate this impact? How can we accelerate things, etc. and etc. That's why it's really, this job is so amazing, so dynamic. You really need to enjoy it because you never have like a moment that you say, oh, now I'm just going to relax and everything is under control. It's never under control because any time something can happen. And I love it, to be very honest.
You like the thrill?
I love it, yeah. When I have like a quiet day, it's like, oh my God, what is going on?
It's too boring. So she likes where the action is.
I love it, yeah.
And what are some of the things that UNOPS during your power that you've been able to accomplish that when you look back, you're like, wow, I'm proud?
When I look back in terms of professional terms, I'm proud of the multiple projects that we have implemented, specifically the ones that supported women. For example, last year I was in Mozambique visiting, meeting with 200 refugees, women refugees that were obliged in the north of Mozambique moving from their own small community where they were doing a lot of agriculture to survive to the coast because of terrorist attacks. They didn't know how to fish, for example. They didn't have any possibility to survive. And we were we were the UN agency that created the conditions to receive them, to accommodate them, and really to equip them with the know-how that it was necessary for them to build and their own businesses and etc. And I met with them, they were like 200 women. We could not talk because they didn't even speak Portuguese, they only their own dialect. And then I decided they were there, the 200 waiting for us, and we are here. I said, listen, no, this is not good. I decided to go there. I sat with them, among them, and we were there. I was there, and they were so grateful, because of us and because of our impact. Really, they were now surviving, they were building their own business, they were becoming independent, and then they hold my hands. I was in the middle of them, one here, one there. And for moments, we could not communicate because we didn't speak the same language. But that when you just communicate with this language of love, the body language, and you look into the eyes, and I felt really so grateful for having this opportunity. Also, when I look back, 2 or 3 years ago, we electrified like 50 health centers in Sierra Leone in off-grid locations. That's people that have never had access to electricity. So these health centers, they didn't have access to electricity. And today when I sing, just thinking that if a baby, is born during the night, just thinking that, these health centers are now equipped with electricity, oh my God. This makes me feel
joy.
Exactly,
especially as a mother.
Exactly, especially as a mother, right? Yeah.
Wow.
So there are so many reasons to feel proud of whatever we do. We make an impact, and sometimes when we look, it's really very small impact. But if you change the life of one person, you are really creating the conditions to change the world. So. It's amazing.
That is beautiful.
Yes,
that is
thank
beautiful.
you.
I love that. I think every interaction I have with Miss Dalila, there's something new that I learn and something fun I learn about her. I think later on you're going to tell people the interesting hobbies we're talking about. But as we were coming here, you were talking about the pin. Tell me more about it.
So this represents the 17 SDGs that we want to achieve. And that's why we are the United Nations. We want to help countries to achieve sustainable development goals. Each color is a different sustainable development goals. And for example, in UNOPS, the ones that we really are targeting the most is on health, achieving, ensuring that everyone in Africa and in the world has access to health facilities, is on energy, ensuring that everyone in Africa and in the world has access to energy. And this is like zero hunger, no poverty, etc., etc., etc. So each color represents one SDG. This means a sustainable development goal. The countries are committed to the sustainable development goals. Kenya is committed to the sustainable development goals. And our mission is to help countries and people to achieve the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, and the 2030 Agenda. So for me, this is what guides whatever we do.
You do, yeah?
Exactly.
And so far, so good?
So far, so good. We know that we are lagging behind. COVID has impacted a lot, especially in the African region. Then followed COVID, we had the conflict in Ukraine, we have multiple conflicts, we have another conflict in Gaza. So this has been impacting countries a lot. We are lagging behind in terms of achieving the 2030 agenda, and that's why we are here. We want to help countries and governments to speed up, to accelerate implementation, and to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals.
Yeah. So when Miss Dalila moved to Africa, there is a gentleman who told her, "You are a foreign woman in Africa, and that is all you'll ever be." But look at you now. First of all, how did that statement make you feel?
Listen, that was really very powerful, but I just thought, interesting. This is his opinion. And yes, I moved to Africa. I was working with the private sector. I was really performing and extremely well. I had 3 kids in 5 years, but at the same time, I continue working and excelling in all of my positions. And when I do what I like, and usually I only do what I like, really, I don't look at my job as a work, right? I look at it with joy, with pleasure. So I don't care, right? It's like I just go with the flow, I build, I create, I just continue. So I don't expect promotions, I don't expect increase of salary. I don't care because I really have a lot of pleasure in what I do. And then in one of my performance evaluations, at that time, the Africa director, I was working as like business, senior business development or director or something like this. He said this, and Dalila, you are amazing. You are really amazing. But listen, this is the further that you can go because you are a woman in Africa. And you know that being a woman in Africa, it's really difficult. So I'm here, whatever you want, you need, just let me know. But listen, I cannot offer you anything else.
Anything further.
And then I just thought, listen, I'm not asking. So he's trying to impose limits in myself. And this is really, I was not expecting for this. And then the reaction that really had on me, it was like, if this is the way that he feels about me, this is not the right place for me to be. No one is going to really let me know how far I can go. I will tell my story, and I will go as far as I decided to go. So 1 year after, or something like this, I left that company and I moved to other company that it was competition, exactly for the position that he was saying that he could not offer me, and I didn't ask because I was a woman. I just said, okay, my friend, enough. No one really will let me know how far I can go, definitely.
Yeah, I love that because, I asked that question because a lot of people get discouraged when people tell them you're not going to make it, nothing good can come out of you. But I like what Ms. Dalila has said. That is their opinion.
No.
It's not
exactly.
a fact. It's your opinion.
And I didn't
you
ask.
think I'm not going to make it. And I didn't ask for it.
Good luck.
So you think I'm not going to make it. That is your opinion.
Exactly.
So I think you should learn to allow such negative comments to remain at just being an opinion. Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Now you're a mom. You're a whole businesswoman, a whole regional director for Africa at UNOPS. How do you strike a work-life balance?
It's not easy. I think it was more difficult at the beginning, more complicated. Now I think that really I have found my balance and I love it. I think it's all about being surrounded by the ones that you love in personal terms and in professional terms. In personal terms, to be very honest, my husband is the love of my life, and he supports me a lot. He's always the one saying, go for it, you can do it. No worries, go. Sometimes he's like, okay, why you don't go? You're always encouraging me, but listen, I go. And then it's like, okay, this is because of you, but whatever, let's talk. My kids, when I look at them, I have 2 daughters and 1 son, and when I look at the way they perceive me, is they just think, oh my God, this is a lot of responsibility because I cannot disappoint them. Now they look at me as a person that really can go further and can continue and is not afraid of risks, taking risks and etc. So I just think, listen, this is perfect, and this environment is fantastic in personal terms. Then in professional terms, I told you, I'm super lucky, and I'm not only lucky. I think that I have taken the necessary actions to be surrounded by people that I feel empathy.
Yes.
and I love. And this is also about recruitment. And I think that we women, we have this intuition, and we have this, we are more sensitive.
Yeah.
For me, it's not just about work. It's not you and me. We work, we have a professional relationship. No, for me, the ones that are part of my team, we go beyond the professional relationship. So being surrounded by people that you feel empathy, you feel connection, you care, they care, they take care of you.
You have
and
connections.
You have these connections, and you build a relationship that goes beyond your professional relationship. You are surrounded by love. And this is super energizing and gives you a lot of adrenaline.
Motivation,
on the way.
yes,
Exactly. We
to
want to
just
do
keep
more.
going.
We want to go
Yes.
together. Actually, if we are here today, it's because of them. It's because of my team. And it's because a specific person in my team that she's always pushing me outside my comfort zone, and she's there, right?
Sarah!
Because in a normal situation, I will say, listen, no, I don't talk about myself. Listen, let's continue. What is next? Bye. But she's always pushing me. And of course, as we have created this relationship, I accept that she challenged me, and then and I feel comfortable, and we push each other. We go, we challenge ourselves, and then we become even, every day better as a team.
Yeah, but I love the relationship you have with the people who work for you. Like, if somebody walked in the office, it's hard to tell who's the boss, who's not the boss. I love that. And I just wanted to ask about women. I noticed you're also very, very passionate about women.
I am.
At your position at UNOPS, how have you made sure that the woman is empowered in whatever country in Africa?
Listen, women are one of my passions, to be very honest, because I think that we need to continue paying special attention to women, even in nowadays, right? And especially in Africa. When I joined, we did not have gender parity. We had the percentage in terms of female and male. We were like, 35% female across Africa in the overall workforce, and 65% male. We are, in Africa, we are around 1,000 colleagues. So this means 650 male and 350 women. And I just said, listen, guys, no. This is not good. This is not okay with me. No way. Let's change this. In the initial 6 months, since I've joined, I really put a lot of attention and focus on women. So I put a system in place that no recruitment was allowed if it was a male recruitment, while we did not reach gender parity. It was like a big fight every day. I end up meeting with the project teams, partners, selling the story that it doesn't need to be a man. We can find women, competent women. It will take longer, but we can do it. In 7 months, between January and July, we moved from 35% gender parity to 48% gender parity. And for us,
Love that.
above 47% is already considered gender parity. Since then, we have kept it. We are just gender parity. So this means that in terms of total workforce, we have more or less 500 men and 500 women. If a project, we cannot really meet this criteria, we don't accept the project. Even yesterday, I was having a meeting with one country and one team, in which suddenly they have to recruit 50 male because they cannot recruit female. Exactly. I just said, listen, this is not for us. Because if we really commit with a project in which we are saying in advance that women do not fit, so this is not for us. I'm so sorry, but inform your partner that we are not up to it. At least I want to see what is going to happen, because usually when we then take this hard position, then they will revert to the decision. So let's see. But this is the way that we have managed really to ensure that we have kept gender parity, and we achieved gender parity after 26 years. Because we just turned 30 years in UNOPS, and we reached in the Africa region gender parity in 2021, finally, and we have kept it since then. Yeah.
I am impressed.
Of course.
Good job.
Of course. Come on. Good job.
Now, this March, we are celebrating International Women's Day, and the theme is Accelerating Action. What are some of the projects that UNOPS is undertaking, or future projects that will help accomplish this accelerating action?
Whatever are the projects that we are currently implementing, we involve women. As I told you, 50% of our workforce is always women. Actually, by involving them and by ensuring that they have an active role, we are already preparing them for future. Because our projects, unfortunately, they have a start implementation date, and also they have an ending date, right? But what we do, we build capacity. We prepare women for the future. Because after implementing our projects, they really can continue. But all projects that we do in Africa, they have this objective of really reaching and helping to achieve the sustainable development goals. For example, by connecting small communities to main areas, help women that are involved, for example, in agriculture and services, to sell their products at a different rate. For example, in Guinea-Bissau, there was a very small community that was selling cashew. Nuts.
Cashew nuts.
Nuts, yes, cashew nuts. And it was so difficult to reach that small community that the price per kilo, per ton, was like, imagine, less than $1. Because just to get there, oh my God. We helped the government in partnership with the government of Guinea-Bissau, we built, like a road between the capital, Bissau, and that small community. As soon as we concluded the works, the price of the nuts cashew, increased, from less than $1 to, like, imagine, $100 or $200 per ton. Because then it became easy to go and to reach the place. And then everyone wants to go there because it was not expensive initially. There was a lot of production. So there was competition. So we helped directly and indirectly women that were involved in this small community, producing, cashew nuts, and selling them and really receiving what was really fair price for their production. All the projects that we do have this objective, really, to connect these small communities to main areas in order to ensure, that we really, there is this economy and there is this development ongoing.
When you look at your experience in this space, especially because you are directly involved in achieving sustainable development, and I'm thinking of a woman who's probably watching you today and thinking, oh, I want to be like Miss Dalila, I want to get there. What advice would you give them?
Listen, life is a journey, right? This means that I was born in Portugal, as I said, in a very small town in the north of Portugal, and then I studied, I accepted my first international assignment. I was working with the private sector for 20 years, before joining UNOPS. Every step, it was a step. Life is a journey. So we cannot just think, I conclude my studies and then I will become Dalila or whatever. No, of course not. Life is a journey. So do not give up. Just live, and just go with the flow, and just ensure that you have an active role in whatever you are. You learn, you continue, you know where you want to go, you have the ambition, you are resilient, you just learn your lessons, you continue. People like the ones that I shared with you, this person that told me, as a woman in Africa, we go nowhere, this is the maximum that you can reach. We'll have plenty of them.
Of those,
Even the ones that do not share, they think about it, and you feel it, right? And then you have to build your own resilience. This is like, listen, I know me, I know where I can go, I know how far I can go if I really want to go and if I believe that this is the right direction. Whatever you think about me, I respect, but this is not me. So I just continue. So I think that as women, we have to be really smart. We have to have a lot of emotional intelligence. While, for example, here at the UN, I do not feel this discrimination in terms of women, male, etc., because I truly believe that we have a role and the women are well recognized. In the private sector, it's tough. it's a lot of competition.
Yeah.
I was having positions that I was the only woman
yeah.
in the team. And how many times I received the comments like, oh, you are performing so well, and you are, as a woman, and you are the only one. And it was not really badly with bad intentions, but you receive this pressure. And most of the times I felt, listen, as a woman, as because I was the only one there, I felt that I had to perform harder, better, you know, and everyone was always paying attention to me
To you,
because I was the only one. It's like,
you're like the odd one out.
Yes, it's like the minority, which is like, oh my God. And then I felt, because my husband is from Argentina and he moved to the US at the beginning of his career, and he was always telling the story. When I moved to the US, I was the only Latin American person not speaking well English and etc. So I felt, he told me, that I had to work harder, I had to be better and etc. And I get it, because for me, as a woman as well in the private sector, when I start growing and assuming positions at a very higher level, managing position, leadership, senior leadership positions, and I was the only one sitting in the meeting room, except the HR lady that usually is a woman. It's like, oh my God, I feel it, right? Because they look at me as the example that is not common. I was working on energy, even worse, right?
Because it's very male dominated.
It's a very male dominant. I'm an engineer, so it's also not common. It's also not common that So, and I was in a very male dominant environment. Even, for example, our retreats. Our retreat, for example, it could have been to go and watch a soccer game between us, the team. I said, listen, but guys, but I don't appreciate soccer games, right? Can we do something different? And that's me. What do you want to do? Like, don't bother us, right? Because this is our roles. Either you worry with us and you go and you watch the soccer game, or you go back to the hotel and you don't bother us. Say, whatever, let's go and watch the soccer game. Okay, fine. You know, so you have to build this resilience. And you have to continue, learn resilience, continue, learn resilience, continue, and continue. Yeah.
Wow,
and
beautiful.
life is a journey.
Life is a journey. I like that. What is one life lesson you've learned that you would pass on to your kids and also to the people who work for you and with you?
I've learned so many lessons, but I think the most important is like to have a lot of self-awareness, right? And to take life also easily and step by step. I think that there is a lot of pressure on youth nowadays, everywhere, here in Africa, in Europe, everywhere, because there is a lot of competition. Thank God, the youth is becoming more prepared, ready, competitive, and etc. And there is also a lot of anxiety, you know, and a lot of pressure that even the social media, put, right? I look at my daughters. I think that they are really fine and great, and they are always saying, "Oh, but I don't look well. I don't this. I don't this." And they say, "Oh my God, where is this coming from?" And this is a lot of pressure coming from the social media, right? Because especially as women, we think that we have to be perfect, right? We have to look perfect. We have to be an example. We have to be the smartest. We have to be the perfect wives, the perfect mothers, the perfect professional, all perfect, right? And you have to do, you have a lot of pressure on you. Even the society look at you, but you have to be a mom as well. You work, but you have to be a mom. But you work, but you have to take care of the house. You work, but you have to have a job, and you have to succeed, right? Because if you don't succeed, it's like, oh my God, only the wife or the. So I think for me, it's like, take it easy on you.
Take it easy.
Take it easy, right? Respect your own boundaries. Know very well where you feel comfortable. Be happy. And, be happy. Whatever you do, have joy, right? Enjoy it. Have joy, because if you have joy, I can tell you there is no limit for where you are going to go. But if you suffer, if you are in this life just to suffer, you have a job that you don't like, but whatever, you are there because you need a salary or because you don't have the courage to take risks and to move in a different direction. If you just get married because, you think, your biological clock is listen, no. This is the principle of the end of your life. It's your life, and you live it once.
Yeah.
So have joy in whatever you do, and do things not because the others
pressure.
expect you, your family, the society expect you to do so, but do whatever you do because it's what you want
you joy.
to do, and
Yeah.
listen to your voice, to your interior voice that you have. It's
The
there.
intuition, that's
Exactly.
silent voice somewhere.
Exactly, this silent voice, and raise this awareness and just continue and do not allow the others to define, who you are.
Who you are,
Yeah, be yourself.
Yeah. Very briefly, what do you want to be remembered for?
Yes, that's a very good question. I think that I would like to be remembered for the person that is able or has the availability to bring out of the others, the best version of themselves. All of the ones that really I've been honored to interact with.
Yeah.
It can be in professional terms or in personal terms, If really I interact with you and I'm really able and I have the ability to bring out the best version of yourself, listen, remember me like this. And I'd be super happy.
I love that. Thank you so much, Ms. Dalila.
Thank you,
This has been
Susanna.
awesome.
It was fantastic.
Yes,
thank you so much for this moment.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Of
I
course.
do believe there's a lady somewhere out there who's going to get inspired.
I hope so.
I have been inspired.
Oh, thank you so much.
Even aside from this, we should just find a day once in 3 months.
Let's do it.
I'll ask Sarah.
Of course.
Just a coffee and just catch up.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I love it.
Okay, thank
just
you.
tell my people bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much. See you in the next episode of A Woman's Journal.